Are you inadvertently killing your coffee machine? It's been your best friend. It's the first thing you go to in the morning, and that says a lot. There's not many people you go to that early in the morning. The coffee maker has become a part of our life, and we kind of take it for granted sometimes, which is a bit of a shame because they do require a little bit of sympathy, a little bit of mechanical sympathy, if you will. And once we just understand the risk factors, this machine that we have can go on for many, many years. This one did over 20,000 coffees before it finally gave up the ghost because I've been looking after it and caring for it. In this video, I'm going to pass on the tips that help me to get so much out of this one coffee maker. The first thing that we need to talk about really is maintenance and care for the machine, particularly with regard to cleaning it. We take the grinds out each time we make a coffee, but do we stop to actually clean underneath the portafilter? In here, you can end up with all kinds of nasties, bacterial growth, mold. It's wet most of the time, it's slightly warm most of the time, which is an ideal breeding ground. So never neglect that. It could actually result in the machine becoming clogged up. The filter baskets themselves, if you've got these pressurized baskets with the single hole in, they can become clogged up and they can be a bit of a pain to clean at times. Just keeping on top of the maintenance, giving it a wipe over regularly will go a long way to ensuring that our coffee maker is going to last a long time. The next area we need to talk about is just leaving the machine on all day long. Most machines now actually come with some kind of energy saving device, so it will power down after a certain length of time, and that is actually a really good idea to just switch that on. You don't want your machine on all day. What's happening is it's keeping the elements inside warm, but the more you use that heating element, the less lifespan you're going to have left of it. What kind of water do we put into our coffee maker? If we live in a hard water area, it's going to clog up inside. The mechanism for heating the water has very narrow channels for the water to flow through, and if that becomes silted up, it's going to be less effective at transferring the heat to the water. It's going to restrict the flow rate, and that is going to have an impact on the pressure that we get from our machine, which will be to the detriment of any extractions that we try to take from it. It's best then to use filtered water. A lot of these machines will actually have the option of fitting a water filter inside them, as this one does. Most machines, it's a really good idea, especially if you live in a hard water area, to put a filter in. And don't forget to change the filter. They don't last forever. I know we want them to last forever, but they don't. It's a false economy. And again, it's somewhere where bacteria can build up if we leave them in for too long, because it's a damp environment most of the time. We go to use our machine, the little Descale light starts flashing at us, and it's human nature to put it off. Rather than deal with it straight away, we'll leave it for a few more weeks. And the mindset is often that people expect a descale process to remove all of the scale that has built up in the machine. Now, while the descale process certainly does do a lot of effective cleaning, if the scale is particularly thick, you may have to do the descale process twice. It's best to keep on top of the scale build-up and just have a schedule. If we know that the descale light comes on for our water hardness, say every 3 months or every 6 months, try and just put a note in your diary and get it descaled on schedule. Make sure you have everything you need. And I can't emphasize enough the importance of using a proper descaler. I've seen people using vinegar, lemon juice and other kettle descaling products, and a lot of these can cause damage inside the machine. This machine is pressurized, it has a lot of rubber components, rubber seals, and they can degrade very quickly if we use a particularly harsh descaler. These specific ones are formulated for espresso makers, and they do a really good effective job, providing we've not let the scale build up too much. I'm going to do another video on the descaling process. It can take 10 to 20 minutes on some of these machines. Most actually come with a program for descaling. It just requires you sometimes to switch to the steam spout just to make sure the water with the descaler in is just going through the other channel in the machine. If you rarely use the milk frother on the side, it's probably not as important to make sure that that is clean. It's still worth running a little bit of descaler through it. That brings us on to the milk frother on the side of the machine. Milk will stick to it. It will become very, very gunked up over time. It's not hygienic to have all this old milk on the side of your machine, and it really is hard to clear off once it has dried on and become a solid substance attached to the wand itself. So it really does pay to just keep on top of that. Give the machine a wipe, give it a rinse through water with every use. Milk is probably one of the most contaminating things that you'll be using on the coffee maker, much more so than really hard water. Using cheap coffee beans, using oily coffee beans, that can clog up these little filter baskets. They've got these tiny little holes in the bottom, and it's very easy for those to just block up with the sediment of oil that's coming out of the beans. If we use good quality beans and we have a good quality machine, that's less of a problem, but it certainly is a risk. If you buy cheap, you tend to have an expense crop up somewhere else. Putting too much coffee in the portafilter or over tamping it, putting too much pressure in there, the poor little machine has got to work hard to get the water to go through this highly pressurized coffee grind bed. And that's going to take effort. If the machine is over pressurized and can't quite push the water through, it's going to have problems. It's going to cause strain. The pump itself is going to be subject to extra wear and tear. Even the seals inside, the little pipes, can split and we can start to have leaks just because the machine has not had anywhere to vent this pressure that it's been building up. Another classic that I see people doing a lot, they wait for the machine to make that horrible pump dying noise, that grinding, that buzz that you get. It's just because this has run out. Keep an eye on the level of the water reservoir in your coffee maker and never let it dry out. In most cases, if that reservoir does run dry, the pump is going to be working extra hard to try and pull the water through. It's going to overheat and it's going to wear out. In fact, most of the damage done to the pumps is down to them trying to pump no water through the machine because we've neglected to fill that reservoir. Make that part of a daily routine. Rather than run it from full to empty, let's just run it from full and then top it up to full every morning. And if we don't use it that much, which I doubt very much if you're watching this channel, but if we're only likely to use half of it in a morning, then just fill it halfway, but keep it topped up to that halfway mark. Proper care and maintenance of our espresso machine can certainly prolong its life, and it's also good for us. It's good for our health. We don't have this bacteria building up inside the machine that could become a potential health hazard. And just by looking after your machine, it'll look after you by producing great coffee time and time again. If you found this video useful, please boot the like button. That really does help us to get out there. We're a very small channel at the moment. We really do appreciate all of your comments, all of your likes. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. We'd hate you to miss out on the great content that we've got lined up. And I've lined up this video and this playlist that you should find really interesting. Thanks for watching. See you in these next videos.